we just went.
So really busy, I guess.
I'm back in London actually today because tomorrow we have a whole day workshop that we're doing with Simply Rhino.
Oh, wow.
Like a reseller.
Yeah. So Leonardo, he's quite big here in Brazil. I was just speaking with my wife. She's an architectural student. And then, so I mentioned her, said, listen. From Raven, because she knows you already.
Hello everyone, boa noite, como estamos galera? Tudo certo? Deixa eu só chegar. I always start the live streaming and I'm thinking, okay, did I really start it? Because there was some time that I started and I was like 15 minutes into the live stream and one guy made a comment, this thing not gonna start? And I was like, oh, forgot to set it to start stream, you know? But yeah, it's working. I already saw in here. So, boa noite galera, tudo bem com vocês? Como é que vocês estão? Espero que esteja tudo certo com vocês. Galera, não tenho nem muito o que dizer assim hoje, tá? Hoje eu tô muito animado com essa live, eu já acordei assim, muito animado, porque, cara, simplesmente a gente tá reunido com o cara mais famoso no momento do design computacional, eu acho que o David pode também concordar com isso. So I'm saying that you are at the moment the most like famous person in computational design right now. And you know it's true. E assim, gente, cara, hoje aqui vai ser muito massa, porque a gente tá reunido com o Moritz, e ele é o desenvolvedor do Raven AI, que ele é simplesmente um assistente AI, ou como a gente chama, um co-pilot, no Grasshopper. Então, assim, se vocês, né, utilizam o chat GPT e tal, cloud, aquela coisa toda, ele funciona de maneira muito similar, só que no Grasshopper. E, cara, eu não preciso nem dizer que isso é uma baita, assim, revolução dentro do Grasshopper, sabe? Porque, bom, a gente vai falar sobre isso, até tava falando aqui com o David antes. É uma certa maneira de desmistificar o uso do Grasshopper, principalmente pra galera que tá começando. E a gente poder ter essa coisa, né, dos GPTs que a gente consegue falar, assim, e ele consegue gerar o código pra gente. É muito interessante, principalmente no Grasshopper, que a gente sabe que a curva de aprendizado ela é, tipo, gigante e às vezes é muito difícil para quem está começando. E eu reconheço isso porque Eu venho fazendo lives, eu venho dando aulas há muito tempo e eu realmente vejo que a galera, no começo, é muito difícil. Mas, com o Raven, as coisas mudam um pouco. Então, okay, now I'm gonna start speaking in English. But I just said that, you know, Raven, it's like a huge thing right now. And it's the first time that we are seeing like a co-pilot for Grasshopper. We already have this kind of stuff for ChatGPT and Cloud Code and stuff like that. But now we have Raven, you know, and it's really cool because I've been doing this like teaching and videos and stuff like that for almost six years now. And I know that at the beginning it's really hard for new users, you know, understand Grasshopper and understand the logic and things like that. And I'm pretty sure that Ravens kind of unlocks this first step, which is really hard and make easier for everyone and accessible for everyone, which I believe it's like really, really, really cool. So Moritz, welcome to the channel. Okay, welcome to the Parametrizado channel. How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm very good. I'm very good. So it's late for me already. I stayed up for you know, the crowd in Brazil. So it's super warm at the moment for us. It's super summery. So all over Europe it's really hot at the moment. I had a long day, but I'm excited to show you guys.
Thank you for your time, because right now it's like 1 a.m. So thank you so much for your time, for being with us here. So I mean, it will be like a really great live stream. I'm pretty sure, really great webinar, and you have a lot to show us. I'm pretty sure, and we need to take a look at Raven and see it working. That's the thing, you know, and it will be more awesome because you are the guy behind it. So it's like from the source, you know, it's from the source, right. Which is really cool. E galera, hoje a gente também tá aqui com o David, tá? Que ele foi convidado aqui de última hora para nossa live, mas por um motivo muito legal, porque simplesmente o David ele é o top user do Brasil, correto? Utilizando o Raven, o que é muito legal. A gente já tem um top user que é brasileiro, tá? E, cara, o David, ele tava me falando aqui antes que ele trabalha para uma empresa. Qual que é a empresa mesmo, David? Desculpa, é Chapman?
Chama Chapman Taylor, em
Chapman
Londres.
Taylor, é em Londres, correto?
Isso, correto.
Lá em Londres. E, cara, ele fez alguns projetos, algumas coisas bem legais com o Raven, que ele vai estar nos mostrando também. E, como eu falei, é muito massa porque ele já é um top user e ele vai estar podendo mostrar para vocês, né, o que ele fez aqui na nossa live. E isso é muito legal. O David também, seja muito bem-vindo aqui ao canal.
Obrigado pelo convite.
Okay, so Moritz, it's on you now, my guy. Okay?
Absolutely. So, I'm sorry I don't speak Portuguese. I'm going to walk you guys through the presentation in English, and then we will do a demo, model something together, and we can talk about it. So, I'm going to just kick it right off with a little bit of background. So, I was one of the 3 co-founders, you already said it, behind Raven. I used to do research in graduate school. 2 years ago already, I was trying to do LLMs in Grasshopper before it was really possible. So that's kind of where we started from, and I have some research papers that I wrote back in the day. And then the idea was already that as designers, there's a big difference between how we think and how the computational tools that we use work, which is, I guess, something that you also see when you try to teach people at Grasshopper. That as a designer, you're used to directly interacting with things, sketching, trying out a lot of designs. Whereas with Grasshopper, you need to be very, very structured from the start and kind of already know the design that you're modeling when you start working on it. And the idea was that an LLM and AI can help you sort of translate between the two. So I can sketch something and then I can get a Grasshopper model, and I don't have to make the switch myself. So that was the original idea. And then, you know, we've been building a product already for 2 years now, or 1.5 years. It was public, and now you have a chatbot, and you can go back and forth and really, you know, use it to model. Here are the things that Raven can do. You can go back and forth making a model. You can use any kind of plugin that's already in the Rhino Grasshopper ecosystem. And then the features that we sort of, you know, bring up is make geometry use your existing plugins, structure your layouts, ask questions about scripts, and things like that. So, sorry if it's a bit noisy with the road outside. I think what I want to do is just show you guys some examples that we can discuss a little bit, and then jump right in and actually model something. So this is one thing I want to show. Instead of, you can go from a sketch like this, that any architect can do with a big felt marker like a Oscar Niemeyer sketch, and give this to Raven. And you don't need to write a long prompt. It's enough to start out, modeling a structure that is, in this case, voxelized pixels. And because you have always the Grasshopper model on the side, you can go in and change things. You can go in and change model things, and in your prompt you can go like step by step and add more and more complexity. You can do things like take a screenshot and sketch over it to say how you want the windows to be. You can take a screenshot and sketch balconies or things like this. You can get materials on it and all these things. And then in this example, you can push it to a cloud or to Revit or something like this as well. So the way that you design is really, really very different from using Grasshopper before, because you can sketch something and turn it into a parametric model very, very quickly, right? So that's one example. Then, of course, we have things like Caramba. Raven allows you to have a Caramba model, which is might be a complex structural analysis running, and you can ask questions about it and make changes that are based on the actual Caramba model, which I think is really exciting. So if there's a plugin that you don't know, you don't understand it, Raven can help you use it and work through it in a bunch of different ways. It's also very exciting. And the same is, of course, true for Rhino inside Revit. So Revit is also, of course, really important for architects. But actually, I don't know if you guys can hear the sound, but I'm just going to turn it off first.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. You can go from a floor plan that you model the geometry and then push it all the way to a native Revit file, which is, I think, also really unique using Rhino inside. The problem is with Rhino inside Revit, it's super powerful and useful if you want to go from Rhino files to Revit, but it's very difficult to actually find enough people that know how to use it and use it really well, because you need to know about Grasshopper and Rhino and all the stuff that you're teaching people, but you also need to know about all the native Revit families and all this stuff to effectively use the tool. And here, Max, one of the other co-founders, is going from an image of a floor plan, to a whole house in Revit in like a few minutes.
Moritz, can I make like a comment real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay, so just to explain the guys here in Brazil. Galera, então basicamente o Raven, tá? Ele, como eu falei, ele é muito parecido com as ferramentas que a gente tem aí de linguagem natural, modelos de linguagem natural. Que é bem parecido com o que a gente vê com o ChatGPT, Claude Code, etc. Mas ele funciona dentro do Grasshopper. E é muito legal que o Moritz mostrou ali pra gente antes. Can you go back into the sketch? Yeah.
Yes.
E ele mostrou pra gente que o seguinte, ó. Hoje é uma maneira diferente de como a gente faz design, assim, né? Então, não diferente, mas é um processo que a gente faz. Então, nesse exato momento, ele fez um desenho, ele colocou lá no chat do Raven e ele pediu pro Raven desenrolar, né, a definição para gerar alguma coisa parecida com aquele desenho. E depois ele foi mais a fundo e foi, no próprio desenho mesmo, ele foi fazendo outros e foi mostrando o que ele queria ali com o Raven. E, gente, isso é muito legal. Muito, muito, muito legal mesmo. É tipo incrível, assim. Tu vai tendo essa conversa, né, com o Raven e ele vai criando ali as coisas para ti. E uma outra coisa também que ele mostrou é o Caramba, que é, como eu já falei para vocês algumas vezes aqui na live, ele é um plugin de análise estrutural. E assim, ele faz as análises, tu pode discutir com ele sobre aquilo, e também uma coisa muito legal é que às vezes tu não sabe como fazer, né? E o Raven ele pode dar essa ajudinha a te mostrar como é que tu usa ali os componentes, como é que tu faz essas análises, o que é incrível, principalmente para quem está aprendendo. E a última coisa relacionada ao Revit é também que, né, como a gente usa muito o Revit, a maioria das empresas usa o Revit, a gente consegue fazer também essa ponte do Grasshopper com o Revit. E o Caramba e o Revit, eles são plugins. E o Raven, ele também entende plugins do Grasshopper, o que é muito legal. Muito, muito, muito legal. I have one question. You mentioned about Revit, right? And I'm pretty sure outside Latin America, it's pretty common to use Revit. But is there a way to use it with ArchiCAD Live Connection for Grasshopper?
Look at this.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Eu tava perguntando se era possível com ArchiCAD também, o Live Connection, que também tem vídeo aqui no canal. E ele tá mostrando exatamente agora como é que a gente faz isso no ArchiCAD. This is really cool. Really, really, really cool. So basically, all plugins, it works, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So in this case, Raven's making a very simple building.
Yeah.
And, oh, wait. I just don't know if you can see. Here we go.
Yeah.
And it will push it to native ArchiCAD. So you model any geometry, and then you can make it into a BIM model. So here you go.
Awesome.
You can see the building Raven made, and then you push it in with like the right wall elements and stuff.
That's awesome. It's really important here in Brazil because a lot of people use ArchiCAD, and having this possibility with ArchiCAD, it's really, 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 really cool. We have one. Can I start doing questions as we go? It's
always,
fine. Okay. Course. So one of my friends here, Tarcísio, he asked, thinking about shop drawings. Let's say shop drawings. For when we start to get more technical. Is it possible so we can automate the documentation? It's Raven, he can do some kind of documentation of floor plans, elevations, and things like that. It is possible we can go further into that way with Raven?
It's definitely possible, but I think, some of those things, it makes sense to use Grasshopper to do it. But sometimes it makes more sense to use something like ArchiCAD, where you can have a model and produce the drawings automatically. So Raven works with all of the things doing Grasshopper. So if you want to do documentation and auto drawings in Grasshopper, you can use Raven to help you.
Awesome.
But
makes more
not
sense,
necessarily
right?
the best tool.
Since if you are going to a BIM software, we don't need to do all of that because you already have there. But with Grasshopper, it's totally possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, go on, please.
Okay, so I picked a challenge to do together, and if Leonardo and David want to come on and talk about it, but I thought it'd be fun to model something very Brazilian.
Okay.
So we're here in Rhino. It's just normal Rhino, and when you install Raven, you can see the Raven button right here. If you click it, opens up the interface. I don't know if you want to. Maybe I'll just get to modeling part, and then you can explain it again in Portuguese.
Sure. Go on.
So here in the interface, I can attach an image, right? So I thought it would be fun to model the Museu Niterói.
Yes. Awesome. Yes.
So I'll give the challenge for Raven, of course, but let's try to do it. Something. So I was actually in the Museu Niterói in 2023, and I had a great time. I thought it was very beautiful. So when I heard that we're doing a live stream together, I was trying to come up with something cool that we can do for a Brazilian audience, and I knew Museu Niterói is perfect. Okay, actually, let's just see. If I talk to Raven like this, I say hi, I get a message back. It's a normal chat interface. And as soon as I ask Raven to make something, it will start, Grasshopper modeling for me. So there's a normal chat interface. You can add a screenshot. You can add an image. There's look, now it's already modeling stuff for me. Okay, I can create a new chat. And now here I'm going to add an image. I'm going to say, hey Raven, make a simple model of and you can see Raven gets the image in the context, and now it will take a while to come up with the Grasshopper model, look up what components are available, and really think through the problem. So you you go from an image of a 2D shape to like how can you construct it made of circles and points, and which is going to take a little while, but that's okay because now you can explain it.
Yeah.
Well, great.
Então, galera, olha só, o Moritz, ele abriu aqui o chat, tá, do Raven, e ele agora acabou de colocar uma imagem do Museu Niterói, certo? Então, ele colocou a imagem ali e ele pediu, né, na descrição para ele fazer um modelo simples, tá, do Museu Niterói, beleza? E aí o seguinte, ó, ele colocou ali a descrição e aí como vocês viram ele tava thinking e 3 pontinhos, quer dizer que agora, né, o Raven ele está pensando, né, tá começando ali a entender quais são os componentes que estão disponíveis e tal, tá entendendo, tá pegando a imagem, tá tentando fazer toda essa análise ali que a LLM tá criando. E vocês podem ver, ó, que já tá aparecendo ali no canvas dele e também no Rhino, ele já tá começando a pegar a imagem ali, o perfil pelo menos do Museu Niterói. E aí, olha só, ele já tá criando ali, já tá fazendo ali a geometria e conectando ali todos os componentes, o que é muito legal. So yeah, we already got something, right? Oh, you are muted right now, Moritz.
Thank you. Sorry, there was a police car. I didn't want you to hear. So great, we get a basic place to start. Okay. Raven is still going, but I can of course always stop it. I already know that the shape to me looks too much like a mushroom. So I'm going to come in and I will say the shape is actually more straight here, like this.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of round like this, and then straight again here.
Yeah.
So I will just do a couple of drawings. I will say, actually, the roof section is very straight first, and then curve towards the trunk. And you can of course speak with Raven in any language, which
Yeah.
is great for the audience.
Yeah,
in Brazil.
exactly.
And also I guess why we found out that a lot of people in Brazil like to use Raven, because you can just speak Portuguese.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Então, gente, olha só, ele viu ali que já tem uma forma ali e tal, mas que não tá ainda muito bem como é que ele queria. E aí ele pegou ali o próprio print do Rhino e desenhou ali como que seria essa seção. E ele falou, cara, olha só, na verdade ela é mais reta ali no começo, depois ela fica curva e depois ela fica ali um pouco mais reta. E aí ele mandou esse prompt de novo e agora o Raven ele vai começar a pensar e já começar a fazer essas modificações. E uma coisa que ele falou também é que o Raven ele aceita qualquer tipo de linguagem. Então agora a gente está fazendo em inglês, mas ele aceita português também. E aí como ele falou que essa é uma maneira que ele descobriu, né, que a galera estava utilizando aqui também. Então vocês podem falar em qualquer tipo de linguagem, né, que ele entende. Pode ser inglês, espanhol, português, italiano, tanto faz. O Raven ele consegue entender. Awesome. Oh, and you can see like real time it's changing stuff. It's already
but I'm not very happy. I think every time you ask Raven to do something, it will make up a new, something new. It will be a little bit different every time. So I think right now the approach that Raven took, I can see here it's making a lot of points and then constructing the line through the points. Yeah. I would not make them in this way. I think it's probably not a good way to start it. It would be maybe better to do rings and then have like straight lofted sections and curved lofted sections.
Yeah.
So maybe I will just, if you look at this, you can see that there's an undo button here. So I can go back to a previous mode in the script or go back to the very start, right? And so the way that we did it now is you can select sort of how far do you want to go back. Maybe you only want to go back 1 step or 2 steps. But right now, maybe I will go back all the way and just edit my original message here or rerun it. So what I'm doing now is just let Raven try again from scratch on a completely empty model and maybe get a different approach. So I could go change my prompt, or I can just rerun it from scratch like this. If I don't think that the direction was correct.
Yeah.
And that's actually something I do all of the time when I use Raven, because I can try out multiple times and see if I get a different result and which one I like. So already I can see that it's now using a very different approach. You can see it's doing exactly what I said by coincidence. It's constructing circles and then doing a loft. So I think this was already a much better approach. But there are still some errors. So Raven, whenever there's an error in your script, Raven will try again and fix it. So I'm sure this will be gone in a second, and then we'll see a new model.
Oh yeah, it's still thinking already. Yet.
There we go.
Yeah. Cool. Oh yeah.
Much better.
Much better. Yeah, much better. And I mean, it all depends. It all depends the way you write the prompt, right? Because you need to have direction, right? You need to at least have some direction and explain to Raven what you want, because I mean, you can't just go and say, okay, do like Zaha did something, make no mistakes, and expect to work, You at least need to have some direction and some, I don't know, logic, and explain it to it. Oh, and it's already trying the star case.
Yeah, but I don't want it to do it.
Yeah. Então, gente, olha só, ele mandou ali o que ele mostrou? Ele mostrou basicamente que tu também consegue voltar algumas etapas, tá? Ele chegou num ponto que ele não gostou muito, então ele só foi ali, clicou em redo e ele conseguiu voltar algumas etapas e agora ele tá voltando porque ele quer um approach diferente. Que é o approach que ele falou que ele iria. E aí eu comentei que muitas vezes no prompt tu tem que ter uma direção, minimamente uma direção. Tu não pode chegar e dizer, eu quero fazer esse prédio da Zaha Hadid e pronto. Não, tu tem que colocar alguma lógica ali, etc. Tem que ter algum tipo de informação. E aí olha só que legal, na segunda tentativa ele já estava indo no caminho que ele esperava e o Raven já tentou começar a fazer a escada já, sabe? Então, tipo, ele nem pediu e ele já começou e daí ele falou agora, não, olha só, não faz a escada ainda, tá? Primeiro só faz o formato ali do edifício. Então, assim, ele já estava começando de primeiro já tentar resolver a escada e tal, mas a gente, não, peraí, olha só, primeiro vamos ver isso daqui. And it is really cool because, you didn't ask for it. He just said, okay, let me try the star case, I'm pretty sure of it.
Exactly. So I think it's also clear that the outer shape of the museum, it's not very easy for Raven to reconstruct.
Yeah.
It's trying a lot of stuff here. So I think because I want to move on also to something, what I will do is I will go to this file, which is also the Museo, but it's a bit of a nicer attempt by Raven. And I will say, I want to add the subdivisions of the floor plans. So you can see the different levels that we have. Add the floor plates as they exist in the sketch and open up the building so you can see inside.
Awesome. Então, galera, agora ele vai colocar, ele colocou esse corte agora, tá, no desenho. E ele falou o seguinte, olha só, adiciona as lajes, tá, como elas estão aqui no desenho, e abre ali o edifício pra gente, nos mostra ele internamente pra gente ver como é que ele fica ali dentro. E de novo, ele mandou ali a imagem, ele colocou o prompt e agora o Raven tá pensando ali dentro do Grasshopper e tentando achar uma solução. And the people here in the chat, it's already thinking this is like fantastic and interesting a lot. So yeah, it's really, really, really cool. Really cool. And
so, we always do small demos like this for live stream. But then I'm excited also for Davide to tell us about, if you actually use this in a workflow and you go really deep into a more complicated file.
Yeah. And I mean, and that was one thing that I wanted to ask you actually. I'm curious. Now I know David, that he did it, so he used for like in a workflow for work and stuff. Are you seeing a lot of people doing this for like day-to-day things and solving like really like technical stuff with Raven? How it's like how is the usage right now into this like subject?
Absolutely. I mean, we in the last, I think, 2 months or something, there's been a lot of usage of people from many very big architecture companies starting to use it. What we see sometimes is that people build a small script for something that they can use again and again. So maybe they have a outline of a floor plate and then they populate it with rooms, for example, and they work on the script with Raven back and forth for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then they have a very good script that they can give to everybody else to use and use it again and again. Or they have some facade panelization and things like this. So those are the people on the spectrum of like they're maybe still learning Grasshopper, but then with Raven they can just make things that they need in the moment.
Yeah.
And then on the other spectrum, of course, there's people who are really, really good at Grasshopper, and then for them, Raven is interesting because it shows them different ways of doing something.
Yeah.
So you can still learn about new components, new plugins, or just have your existing script be critiqued. Like, oh, is there maybe a more efficient way to do it? And just have like a discussion together with Raven. It's also very popular for this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We see a lot of big architecture and big structural engineering firms right now.
Yeah.
that,
And I mean, not only architecture, right? Raven can do any type of, can do like shoe design, can do like furniture,
Yeah.
can do like naval, anything, right?
Exactly. And that's also true for our users. So half of our users are in architecture and structural engineering, and then the other half is everything else. Really, from jewelry to boat design to
I
sneakers.
believe I saw one of your live stream that you are doing like a shoe sole or something. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really cool. Really awesome. Really awesome.
So here, for example, you see I asked Raven to parameterize the model so I can change the sizes, because right now it's fixed. And then it gave me a plan of what it wants to do and says, please confirm. So sometimes before making a big change, Raven will ask you for a confirmation.
Awesome, man. It's already looking really good. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, we got some subdivisions, which is, I guess, a good start.
yeah, it's really, really, and it's awesome because he asked for a confirmation. He doesn't like went full and just did those changes. It's really cool.
Exactly.
Really cool. Gente, então eu tava falando com ele aqui agora, perguntei pra ele qual que é o nível do, como é que eu posso dizer assim, qual que é o, como que a galera tá usando isso no dia a dia, assim, para coisas mais técnicas, coisas mais diárias ou no seu trabalho. O Davi depois ele vai mostrar um pouco do que ele fez utilizando o Raven, que é uma aplicação do dia a dia dele, né, comercialmente, digamos assim. Mas ele falou também que ele tá vendo um monte de gente assim que tá utilizando o Raven para fazer vários tipos de automações, entendeu? Principalmente o pessoal que não sabe mexer muito bem no Grasshopper e daí consegue com o Raven chegar ali num objetivo e tal, e aí depois eventualmente eles conseguem melhorar ali o código, etc, mas pelo menos dar uma direção. E ele também falou que muitas das pessoas que já sabem utilizar assim o Grasshopper estão também utilizando o Raven para esse fim, mas eles estão achando com o Raven novas maneiras de como pensar aquele problema, né? Como pensar em uma outra solução e tal, o que é muito legal porque aí tu começa a ver de um outro ponto de vista, né? Como resolver aquele digamos assim, aquele problema. E isso é muito legal. E também, né? Aqui a gente está falando de arquitetura, mas o Raven ele não se limita só à arquitetura, né? Ele se limita para qualquer outra área do design, qualquer outra. Tem uma live do Moritz que ele participa que ele estava fazendo uma sola de um tênis, sabe? E ele estava utilizando ali, demonstrando para a galera com o Raven como é que ele conseguia chegar naquele objetivo ali. De novo, só conversando do jeito que vocês estão vendo aqui e agora. O que é muito, muito, muito legal, tá? Então, assim, não funciona só para arquitetura, funciona para qualquer outra área do design. Tudo que vocês conseguem fazer no Grasshopper ou pensam em fazer no Grasshopper, vocês conseguem utilizar o Raven para isso.
Okay, so I'm trying to get this big hall that is in the center here, which is actually 2 stories high. And then I have also a top view of the same one. And so now I'm using the coloring tool to highlight which should be the 2 level, like the larger room and which are the smaller ones. So just, getting more detail into this model.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I was thinking about something, and I believe you are the perfect person to ask for it. How would be like a good practice to, you know, start to developing your own things in Raven? So you go, I believe, from looking from a design view, you go always from the macro to the micro, right? So you go from the most generic geometry, and then you go further. But I mean, again, you and your buddies created Raven, you know. But can you give us like a tip of good practices how we can achieve like or not only better prompts but better results, or a way I can talk, or how I need to like structure the prompts that I need to ask for Raven?
So there's one thing I definitely don't recommend that you do, which does not work at all, and that's asking ChatGPT to write a prompt for you. Like, this doesn't work because ChatGPT adds a lot of extra words that don't mean anything. So if you can be very specific and have a lot of guidance, if you already know a lot of Grasshopper. So right now I'm prompting Raven like I don't know anything about Grasshopper, right? But if you know, the more that you know, the better you can prompt. Okay. So it's actually very useful if you know exactly how you want the model to be made and so on, because you can tell Raven, and it will be easier for Raven to get to the result that you're looking for. So definitely that's definitely true. And otherwise, you know, if you go step by step, it's usually easier to get to the result that you're looking for.
Okay. So I mean, makes total sense, because if you already, as I commented earlier, like direction, you know, if you give some direction, then it's easier for Raven to go there. But what was really something that you said, that for people who already knows Grasshopper and it's working, you know, that Raven gave some solutions that it wasn't like the first thought, you know, and shows another way of how it's. I believe it's pretty like good to have this, you know. You start to see a design problem in another, like how can I say, another perspective. But yeah, exactly. if you I mean, at least give some direction and understand of what you want and how it wants to be done, then it's easier for Raven to do it. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
For sure.
Então eu perguntei para ele aqui algumas dicas assim de como que a gente consegue utilizar o Raven de uma maneira melhor, assim, algumas, enfim, good practices que a gente fala, que é boas práticas e tal. E ele falou que, bom, não só a questão da gente dividir, né, todo o passo a passo de como a gente quer chegar naquele resultado. Então, não chegar e colocar tudo num prompt só e esperar que ele faça isso. Outra coisa também que é bem específico, e eu acredito que se ele fala isso é porque já aconteceu, é tipo, não pede pro ChatGPT escrever qualquer prompt para ti, porque ele adiciona muitas coisas extras. Então, seja bem direto assim nos seus prompts. E também, se tu já tem algum conhecimento de Grasshopper, tu pode dar o tipo de direção ali pro Raven. Se tu já sabe qual componente tu quer utilizar, ou qual que seria a estratégia ou a lógica, fica mais fácil para ele conseguir resolver. Okay, so now we have the parameters, right?
Exactly, we have parameters here.
Awesome. And you asked for the parameters, right? So you make it like parametric, I believe.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And you know, if you know exactly which parameter you want to control what, see, this even the basement is in here. Then it's you can get it also, but if you just say very general, you know, give me the parameters, you will also get something like this.
Yeah.
And now. Here we are adding.
Looking good.
See, the atrium is coming in here.
Yeah. It's looking good already. We have one question for the chat.
Great.
Following this same idea that we discussed here regarding if you already know Grasshopper, you can do directions, or if you don't know nothing, you can like discuss with it some solutions or directions. But don't ask ChatGPT to make a prompt. The question is, what would be the more like good, not a good practice, but how would be the best use case for Raven, but that's not the best, but you're gonna understand it. So we can use like Raven to create a script from the scratch, or will be good to also use it to check for errors or optimizations or stuff like that. Does Raven can work in these two directions?
For sure. It's really, really good if you already have a script that you want to make changes or understand it also, just ask questions. We actually have a mode here. You can switch from edit to ask, and it's just for asking about the script and having a discussion, and Raven cannot edit anything. So it's very popular actually, because if you work in a big firm with a team of people working in Grasshopper, you get somebody else's Grasshopper script and you have to sort of understand what is going on.
Yeah.
And that's really difficult.
God damn, I already opened like really terrible Grasshopper scripts and I didn't understand nothing, you know.
Yeah. So we have a mode where you can just discuss about the script, you know, ask questions. You can select some components and say, what is this, you know, doing, or why, I don't know, why is there, I'm asking right now to clean the script a little bit, but you can just say, like, what is this component actually doing? Why is it here? And you will get some responses from Raven.
I mean, he can really like explain to you like, okay, what this component is doing. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
That's very good also for learning.
Yeah.
But working in a big script is no problem. Actually, it works really well with that.
Oh yeah, that's one thing that I was thinking. Okay, so if I have like a really big script, does this affect a little bit the performance of Raven because he needs to read everything, or it's like, no?
Because the way it works, it's not reading everything. If the script is more than like 30, 40, 50 nodes, it will start to search and only look at the nodes it wants to look at. You know, it's kind of, you can go like back and forth a little bit. So it works differently. It doesn't look at everything. It just looks at the part that's important. So even if you have 5,000 nodes in your script, Raven will pick the ones that it wants to actually look at.
Awesome. That's like really optimized actually, because imagine reading like 5,000 scripts or components or something, you know. So let me just answer the guy in Portuguese because we already discussing. Então o Tarcísio, ele falou que, cara, pode ser utilizado dos dois jeitos, tá? Tu pode ou começar do zero, ou depois tu também pode utilizar ele para tipo dar uma olhada na tua definição e tal, fazer uma análise. E ele mostrou ali que tu tem a opção ali, a gente tem edit e a gente também tem a opção ask. E aí naquela opção ali tu pode fazer perguntas pro Raven e perguntar, cara, o que está acontecendo aqui, o que esse componente faz. Se tu selecionar um componente e colocar ali, e tu pode dizer, cara, o que isso aqui está rolando aqui, o que esse componente está fazendo, qual que é, sabe? Então, tipo, ele também tem essa opção. Ele pode não só fazer o script, tu pode, né, fazer ele do zero, tu também pode pegar uma coisa pronta e pedir para ele analisar, ou tu pode ser também um pouco mais, pedir para ele analisar ali com o ask e perguntar, cara, o que está acontecendo aqui. E tu pode até pedir para ele te ajudar em questão de otimização, assim, tipo, cara, como é que eu consigo diminuir isso daqui? Ou tem uma maneira de eu ter mais tempo menos tempo de computação, etc, etc. Então, cara, ele pode ser utilizado de várias maneiras, assim. Seja criando do zero, seja analisando uma coisa que já está pronta, ou, tipo, perguntando coisas. E uma coisa que eu falei é que, pô, às vezes tu pega um script que tu não entende nada de outra pessoa, e aí tu pode perguntar para ele, cara, o que está acontecendo aqui, sabe? O que está rolando aqui? E ele vai lá e vai te explicar, olha, isso aqui vem aqui, tal, etc. Isso é muito legal. Muito legal. You asked for relayout. It's like organize the components. What is it?
So I wanted Raven to move the components in a nice graph, but it didn't do it, which
it happens.
Because I'm using the developer version, so I'm always testing, of course. So yeah, this definitely happens.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, we could show some of the work, and of course, if you actually take your time to model together with Raven a little bit longer, and you know, actually working towards a goal. You can do really cool stuff, and I think we can bring in Davide for this, and he can show us a little bit of how he was using it in his workflow.
Yeah, sure. Galera, então olha só. Agora a gente vai mostrar o Davi, tá? Que vai mostrar todo o trabalho que ele fez utilizando o Raven, beleza? E, Davi, só explica um pouquinho pra gente de onde é que veio essa ideia, o que tu utilizou, o que tu sabe. Conta pra gente um pouco como é que foi isso aí tudo.
Beleza. Bom, primeiramente agradecer aí o convite, né, do Leonardo, Parametrizado, Moritz, foi de última hora, mas é um prazer aqui estar com todo mundo aqui do Parametrizado. Vou em português ou em inglês, Leonardo?
Inglês. Não, inglês. Não. E tu escolhe. You choose.
Okay, let's go English, and then maybe at some point I'll switch back to Portuguese.
Okay.
My experience with Raven, I just, I was struggling with Grasshopper like any kind of like beginner Grasshopper user, and then I've stumbled on Raven, and I said, wow, this is really interesting. And then I've watched a couple of YouTube videos of Moritz, a couple of demos, and I'm like, I need this like desperately. So just for everyone, I'm now based in Brazil, but I was living in London for the third time. I've lived in Europe a couple of times. I always go back and forth. And the last studio that I was working is called Chapman Taylor. It's quite a big architectural firm, 13 offices worldwide. And so I was working in this concept design team where we do really early on design studies. And I got this task, which was to design this 500 meters tower in a country which I can't say is a bit of confidential project, but it's a really tall skyscraper. And then so then I started first trying myself on Rhino when I stumbled into Raven. I said, well, I'm just gonna use this new AI tool, and I started using, and it was really like mind blowing. And then at that week, I remember there was a guy from Manchester, and he's like this Grasshopper guru, and then he sat nearby me, and then I spoke to him, man, you need to check this Raven. And then everyone in the office, they were like all mind blown. So all like Grasshopper users, from the really experienced level to beginners. So then with Raven, I started to kind of like help me to work with modules based on the logic which I wanted to this building to be. Unfortunately, I can't show any design images, but I will try to explain. Basically, it's similar to actually the skyscraper that Moritz was showing. So it's something that goes up to the sky, and then it goes little by little, it goes like fragmenting and fragmenting. So that was a bit of like a concept, like being a bit pixelated. And so then there was a logic of skyscrapers, because we have the same, which is wind resistance. So we need to work together or to break wind, the wind forces. So then I didn't want the building to be tapered, but just by the sake of the form, I wanted it to stop little by little as it went up. And for me, I had my sketch, but at the same time, I thought could be nice if my skyscraper, my bits, which are going up, if I could use sliders to say, oh, I want this guy up, this guy less. So it's really like live sculpting that I wanted. But again, I'm a beginner user level of Grasshopper, to the point that once I made a job interview with Thomas Hadderwick Studio, and there was a Grasshopper exam in 1 week. And then I had private lessons of Grasshopper, and I paid this guru from Pakistan, and he was teaching me Grasshopper for a week. And then he said, Davide, you are crazy. In order for you to learn Grasshopper properly, you need 1 year of Grasshopper, at least. So I had a private class with a tutor from Australia and someone from France. And then I did my job interview. And I didn't get the job because my Grasshopper skill was not there. But anyway, so just for context, as beginner level as I am in Grasshopper, but then Grasshopper, I've managed to designed this building in such a powerful way that everyone in the studio was like, wow, this is really nice. And like, how did you get it to make it work? So then I showed them that it was together with Raven. So this was one of the jobs that I did. And then a couple of weeks later, I had a different task, which was a project in Dubai. And so there was the Dubai team, they were looking into some kind of like different options for this big residential compound in front of a park. And so there was something like regarding apartments and view to the parks, right? And so I thought, okay, so I started modeling, and then, well, could be really cool if we could do some analysis so we could know how many of the apartments have a better view and then the worst view, because there are so many different options that we are trying. And then that could help our client, which is this developer, to know which the apartments have the most value and view to the park. And that's where I thought, well, Raven, let's go back to Raven. And so then I went back to Raven and we started. And of course, I've also used Ladybug. So one thing about speaking about workflows then is about the context buttons that you can choose when you start working. So I think it's really helpful for workflow wise. And so in my case, for example, I've downloaded Ladybug, installed it, and then I told Raven, like, I want to work with Ladybug. So then I clicked. And then so then I started using Ladybug, and which does the view analysis, but at the same time there was things that Ladybug was not offering me, which I wanted, which were more specific. And also some of the values that Ladybug was giving me was just based on a point towards, and I'm going to go a bit technical in the next minute, which I think maybe everyone here likes a bit more technical stuff. So let's go for it. So I will share my screen just to show a couple of images.
Awesome.
That's what I wanted to ask you next.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you should explain it in Portuguese, because you've already been so nice to me to tell me about it in English.
Okay. So I think, do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I've just saved just 5 screenshots and I'll just go through them. Leonardo, você me fala se eu quiser que eu mude para português ou
Não, fala agora em português, que daí eu acho que tecnicamente vai ser melhor para a galera entender.
Beleza, galera.
We don't see the screenshots yet, by the way. We just see your browser.
Just the
Sorry.
Meet screen right now.
Okay.
I believe you share the window, not the full screen.
Yes. Okay. Do apologize. Let me try again. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm just gonna try to. Okay. Do you see my screen now? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Meet again.
Okay. Now maybe you can see the screenshot, right?
No, just a yellow screen.
Oh.
Right now.
Come on. You apologize.
Go into the Meet and then go into full screen. There's like 3 options. Go.
Okay, third option. Now, yes. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Bom, galera, então eu vou passar aqui para português. Sorry, Moritz.
No, please do.
Ok. Então, gente, esse aqui foi um projeto que eu trabalhei há pouco tempo, né, em Dubai, como eu estava falando. Então, isso aqui foi só um slide que eu fiz para explicar para o cliente, para ele entender como é que foi o processo, né, para ele entender. Então, aqui eu escrevi, né, tá em inglês, né, então aqui a gente chamou de visibilidade ao parque, né, heat diagram, que são os diagramas, né, de quente e frio, né, você já deve ter visto aqueles quando a cor fica mais quente, quando mais amarelo, vermelho, até o azul, né, então a gente, é o heat diagram, mas o meu só tinham 2 cores, né, eu simplifiquei. Eu comecei com um heat diagram que vem no Ladybug, que é bem super colorido, né? E que no Ladybug você consegue mudar as cores, né? Tem as opções das cores, mas eu não estava satisfeito também com as cores, eu queria umas cores diferentes. Então aqui falando da metodologia, né? Então o que eu fiz? Esse aqui é uma parte, tá? não é nenhum condomínio, assim, isso aqui faz parte de uma cidade que está sendo feita, isso aqui é um quarteirão, né, que a gente estava trabalhando, e a gente estava trabalhando nessas 3 quadras aqui. Tá, então, aqui na frente eu tenho o meu parque, né, que era o ponto mais desejado, né, de vista dos apartamentos. E aí, com o Raven, a partir de um script base do Ladybug, eu fui desenvolvendo. Então, eu fui acrescentando alguns parâmetros. Por exemplo, eu queria que ele pegasse o plano do parque, né, e eu fiz um grid de 10 por 10 nesse parque. E aí, cada apartamento, eu selecionei os centroides, né, de cada face. E aí, cada centroide de cada face desses módulos aqui, ele fazia uma leitura de quantos pontos podiam ser vistos daquele grid, né, de 10 por 10 do parque, das 3 partes do parque. Então, ele fazia uma contabilização, né, a partir de quantos pontos eu estou vendo, né? E aí, ele dava o seu parâmetro de cor. Isso já é um pouco nativo, né, ao Ladybug. Você escolhe qual é a superfície, né, ele faz essa análise. Mas tem outros parâmetros que eu queria adicionar, né, que são válidos para, por exemplo, no mundo do imobiliário, né? Então, por exemplo, se o apartamento está mais no alto, provavelmente o valor dele é maior. Se o apartamento está mais baixo, próximo à rua, o valor dele vai ser menor. Então, existe sim uma questão de vista, mas, ao mesmo tempo, eu queria acrescentar outros parâmetros para o meu cliente, né, que era o incorporador, para dizer, olha, então, na verdade, você vai ter esses apartamentos que vão valer mais também, porque eles têm a vista para o parque e eles estão mais altos. Então, eu queria acrescentar mais um parâmetro, que seria a altura. Tem um outro parâmetro que eu também achei importante, que seria a distância dele em relação ao parque, né? Então, claro, os apartamentos mais perto do parque, eles, sim, vão ler mais pontos, mas, ao mesmo tempo, pode ser que um apartamento que esteja lá atrás vai ter aquela leitura daqueles pontos, mas, pela distância, ele vai ver os pontos mais comprimidos, né? Então, teoricamente, ele vai ter menos valor. Então, são alguns parâmetros que o Ladybug, por exemplo, não tinha, né? E para mim, era super importante eu passar isso para o cliente. Então, como é que eu fiz isso? Esses prompts super complicados, esses parâmetros adicionando. Gente, eu não fazia ideia. E foi com o Raven. Eu falei, Raven, agora me adiciona isso. Agora eu quero isso. Então, a partir de, né, como o Moritz falou, tentando ser simplista, né, simplificando os inputs, né, o Raven vai, e assim, e também não, falando de workflow novamente, o que eu fazia às vezes era assim, pô, isso aqui tá quase bom, eu dava um save as, eu pegava o meu script do Grasshopper, eu save as, versão, aí eu andava mais um pouco, então o Moritz mostrou os botões do undo, achei isso excelente. A primeira vez que eu usei Raven, eu nem sabia que tinha um undo, eu falei, gente, e agora? Então, assim, mas com o undo facilitou bastante. Mas também não acho ruim você, ao mesmo tempo, fazer um save as dos seus scripts, porque, às vezes, é bom, você só abre aquele ali e fala, não, deixa eu partir daquele ali, porque aquele estava numa direção boa também, né? Então, eu acho que é mais ou menos por aí. Vou mostrar uma outra imagem. Que esse aqui já é o... Ah, não, vou mostrar um intermediário, desculpa, gente. Então, esse aqui, né, é os pontos, né, que ele me colocou no parque, né. Então, assim, para vocês terem ideia, assim, eu tinha vários erros foram aparecendo, assim, a partir do script do Ladybug, ele me jogava vários pontos aqui, por exemplo, ele chegava perto da borda do parque, ele aumentava a quantidade de pontos. Então, eu chegava, assim, bem perto, eu dava um print disso aqui, eu circulava os pontos e falava assim, Raven, tá dando um erro aqui, tem muito ponto aqui perto da borda, por favor, retire os pontos. E o Raven, de boa, retirava. Então, ele ia acertando. Então, aqui dá para vocês verem, né, o centroide, né, de cada face aqui que ele foi pegando, né. Então, esses foram todos os centroides de todas essas unidades que foram avaliadas, né. Dá para ver aqui no Rhino, né, na vista, né, os pontos. E aí, depois esse aqui foi o heatmap que ele fez, né? Então, já com as cores que eu escolhi, que eu queria uma coisa bem simplificada, né? Vermelho, super quente, seria com vista total para o parque, e conforme vai recuando, vai ficando mais brando. Eu, nessa opção aqui, eu tirei a questão da altura, né? E depois eu voltei, assim. Então, eu ia experimentando, né? Às vezes eu tirava, às vezes eu voltava com essa questão da altura. Então, assim, é muita experimentação também, né? Que você pode ir fazendo. Então, isso foi ótimo para o meu cliente, porque em todas as opções que a gente fez, diferentes layouts dos prédios, a gente ia dando, olha, 15% dos seus apartamentos, de todos, tem excelente vista. 5% boa, moderado 12%, limitado 15% e sem vista nenhuma, 42%. Eu vou mostrar também aqui só o script, né? Como é que fica o script. Também, assim, bem simples, né?
Bem simples mesmo.
Bem simples. De novo, gente, eu sou um Grasshopper iniciante, né? Assim, para intermediário, fiz minhas aulas, sei organizar, sei ler os nodes, sei modificar algumas coisas. Então, assim, claro, gente, tem gente que vai ver isso aí, vai surtar, vai falar que tá bagunçado, né? Que tem como ser mais limpo e organizado. Mas, enfim, o mais importante para mim era o resultado junto com o Raven. A partir do momento que eu atingi o resultado, gente, eu salvei, printo as imagens e vou mostrar para o cliente. E esse aqui é aqui eu pluguei, né, para ver isso também junto com o Raven foi me dando isso, que eram os números de apartamentos, né, não só a porcentagem. Então eu queria a porcentagem, mas eu queria também o número de apartamentos. Então isso aqui foi o countdown, né, a quantidade dos apartamentos que a gente passou para o cliente também. Então isso aqui foi muito importante para análise, né? Então, basicamente, foi esse o meu workflow, né, para a gente trabalhar com esse script, e acabou que eu salvei o script, né, no sistema, compartilhei para a galera do escritório, e aí fica disponível, né, como o Moritz falou, né, que tem alguns escritórios que fazem um script, né, e depois aquilo está rodando, está funcionando, e aí coloca para compartilhar para as outras pessoas utilizarem. Então, já fica um script que, por exemplo, para um próximo projeto também de análise de vista, esse script pode funcionar. E só adicionando, né, para eu finalizar, eu acabei que, agora eu vou mudar para inglês, né, que I want to tease a bit Moritz, so I'm going to switch back to English. So Moritz, I guess you understood a bit what the project and the script was about. And then I was telling I was going to switch to English just to give it a brainstorm with you. But then at the same time, I've worked on a second script, which I think it was really even more mind blowing than what I had now. But unfortunately, it was like a bit of like a heavy calculations. And then it just worked for one apartment or two, and then I didn't manage to run all the script. But then the second script that I built was not only based on points, as I worked on this script, not only with this script, what happened, which I thought it was faulty in my first approach, is that apartments that were far, they would read many points of the park, right? And then because they read so many points, they would get a higher score. But at the same time, they were really far away. So it's actually, they don't deserve a higher score because, yes, they do see so many points of the park, but then the park is so far away and it's small that it's actually not a really good view. So then the second script that I built together with Raven was a kind of like qualitative analysis, which is create a cone of view, like a camera cone of view that you have in 3D Max or other 3D softwares, Rhino, create a camera cone view, place in the centroid of the apartment. With that cone view, read the park. And then what you read from the park, create a percentage from my frame, my picture frame, kind of like a camera, and then give me that percentage of how much of the park percentage-wise in relationship to the picture frame. And then that will give me my score. So then actually this is a higher, like it's a more qualitative view of reading. And then that was the second calculation, but it was really heavy. And then it was already after I delivered the project. So, but then this is to be further developed together with my friend Raven. And then, so that's the kind of like thing that I wanted to share with you as well, Moritz. And then of course, at the same time with all the users from Parametrizado. Então, gente, foi isso.
If you want my idea, I would say, you can take the vector length and you can have that as a negative multiplier. So the longer the distance between the apartment and the point, the lower the impact.
Yeah.
Yes, which I've used as well on that first script.
Okay.
I've added, I asked Raven, distance as a parameter. So I've used that as well. But at the same time, because I was using 3 different parameters as colors, as values, so then sometimes it was me for a bit hard to see. Oh, the other thing that I added is sliders to give weight to each of those parameters. So height, what's the weight? Distance, what's the weight? And then number of points, what's the weight? So I also worked with sliders and weight because I had 3 different parameters. So it's a lot of like logical thinking as well. So as Leonardo was saying in the beginning, yes, you know, there's Raven, but then you need to have your logic behind.
Yeah,
and then I think it's really important. And I really recommend everyone that will use Raven at the same time. If you are really beginner level, study Grasshopper at the same time, and then go Parametrizado, watch the videos.
Yeah, nice option, really good option.
Yeah.
Go to my YouTube channel, you know, you're gonna find a lot of stuff there. I can guarantee you.
Yeah, and then do Grasshopper courses, and then because it's you will need that to work together with Raven. You need that to kind of like, okay, Raven built this for me. Actually, I can tweak this node here, and then I can attach a panel to see what's going on here, because or else you don't even know how to attach a panel, how to read stuff. Anyway, so I hope it was a bit useful for everyone here.
Yeah, it was awesome, for sure. And congratulations for, I mean, reaching your goals, you know, and all of your analysis.
Yeah. So again, I think I'm a proven study case of, you know, like of a beginner user level Grasshopper, which with the aid of Raven, it just put us in another level. And then working with real world clients, real world projects, big budget projects. So that's, I think, the importance of Raven, and I guess giving access to everyone as well. I think so. That's why I think it's important, especially in Brazil. Especially, we are so thirsty of technology and technology helping plugins and everything that can help us to achieve higher steps in technology. So and Brazilians, we are also very good at like learning stuff, tweaking stuff as well.
Yeah.
And so we are really creative. So I guess there's a lot of creativity in the background in Raven, and I think that Brazilians we will learn how to work with Raven, and then we will do magic as well.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Moritz, for developing this for us.
Yeah.
Of course. Well, I'm very excited to bring it to the Brazilian community and that we have so many users already.
Yeah.
So before we did this webinar, you know, I went and sent emails to people in Brazil, and we have like 200 people, I think,
just
already in Brazil.
Just so you know, Moritz, just a bit of like also my background. I've been a founder of an architectural association in Brazil for kind of like entrepreneurs, small firm, like one-man band architects. I've been into the Architects Register Board for 6 years as a counselor, and then the numbers that we have each year, like from graduating school, my wife is graduating this year. Like just her units, like 120 universities. Just one university in Rio. We have almost 10 universities in Rio. Like we have more than 300,000, or actually around 300,000 architects in Brazil. So we have like a big community of architecture, and so many people, more and more in uni using Grasshopper. So there's like a big space for parametric design and AI for parametric design to happen in Brazil. So I think go and deep dive more into our country. That it will be really useful for everyone.
If we're lucky and we can get a lot of users and customers in Brazil, we can make a trip, and that's the goal.
That's really cool.
That we can come visit.
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
Okay, guys, I believe that's the wrap up. I believe, right, Moritz? I believe it's really late for you right now, and you need a really big meeting tomorrow, right?
I have the whole day. I'm giving an in-person workshop to 40 people. So.
It's a really big day tomorrow.
But thank you so much for having us on, and I think it's a very exciting time. I mean, David said it as well. You know, there's a lot of this stuff is just happening now. Of course, Leonardo, you are like the person in Brazil who's teaching people how to use the stuff. So that's also very cool. And I think it's great that I get to chat with people like you, and you know, we can push this forward together. So that's really.
I mean, every time you think about Brazil, you can think about us and all of the community here. You know, I can guarantee you, everybody, it's. I mean, I don't know you have like the statistics right now, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people already downloaded Raven, you know, just for this live stream in Brazil. So new users, new people like discovering this, this wonderful.
You know, Afonso helped us set this up. So also, we know we are now getting resellers if you need Brazilian business tax IDs and blah, blah, blah. So Afonso is also there. People can find him, I think. He's also reselling Rhino. We're setting up. You know, we're setting up.
The guy here in Brazil, you know, he sells like everything Rhino and a lot of stuff, and of course he'll be like reselling Raven, and that's will be like the
on our website
talking.
Exactly, and on our website we have like a reseller list now, so really trying to make it easy for people in Brazil to use it.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay.
Moritz, thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, sure. Anytime, you know. Ok, have a good one.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Galera, então, só pra finalizar aqui, David, muito obrigado, tá? De verdade. Só pra finalizar aqui, galera, pô, essa foi a apresentação aqui do Raven. Como vocês podem ver, ele facilita muita coisa mesmo. E, cara, é um momento novo, assim, do Grasshopper até, eu diria. Porque isso é muito inédito. E, cara, como vocês veem, assim, funciona. Eu botei vários links ali no chat, vocês podem ir atrás, já tem um monte de live stream e webinars relacionados ao Raven. E, cara, muita coisa legal feita com ele. E é aquela coisa que a gente falou, cara, e é o exemplo do David também. Cara, tu não sabe muito ainda como usar o Grasshopper e tal, pô, o Raven pode te dar aquela destravada, sabe? E eu acho isso muito importante. E é uma das coisas até que há um tempo atrás a McNeil fez, né, uma propaganda do Raven e tal, que, cara, é democratizar o uso de CAD, assim, sabe? Democratizar, cara, qualquer pessoa pode chegar ali e fazer os seus códigos e tal, pode chegar num resultado interessante. No caso, o Davi é o melhor caso possível pra gente falar sobre isso, sabe? E, pô, eu só posso encorajar vocês a utilizarem, ir atrás e aprenderem com o Raven, sabe? Porque, de novo, às vezes, porra, vocês viram ali as funcionalidades, né? Pô, tu pode perguntar e pedir, sabe? Pô, o que tá acontecendo aqui e tal, não sei o que. Cara, isso é muito legal, sabe? Muito legal. Tenho certeza que quando eu tava aprendendo, né? Que foi há, quase 10 anos atrás. Se eu tivesse, né, essa opção de, perguntar as paradas assim, não ter que ficar meia hora tendo que ou bater a cabeça ou ter que ler 1 milhão de coisas no fórum da McNeil, seria muito mais fácil. Mas, obviamente, né, gente? É muito legal, é muito massa, mas ele também não substitui tu ter o conhecimento em Grasshopper, né? Tipo, obviamente tu, né, como o David falou, usa, mas aprende em paralelo, sabe? Porque aí tu vai ver que os ganhos vão ser, tipo, exponenciais, assim, porque, né, tu pode fazer as coisas e pedir e tal, mas, cara, alguma hora tu vai ter que ter um conhecimento, né, pra poder desenrolar ali os códigos. Mas como vocês conseguem ver, Cara, para essas coisas e até coisas mais, digamos assim, técnicas e bem específicas, que nem, por exemplo, do David, ele consegue fazer com certeza. E muito legal que ele mostrou ali o código pra gente, David, né? E, cara, não foi um código tão complicado. Eu imaginei que fosse mais coisa, mas foi um código bem simples, assim, bem simples, assim, só pelo tamanho... Tu vê pelo tamanho do código, tu vê, né, que, pô, pode ser bem simples, assim, e o Raven conseguiu chegar naquele resultado. Beleza? Galera, tem uma pergunta aqui, deixa eu ver só rapidinho aqui. Leonardo, eu sei que o Raven lê seus componentes existentes no seu computador. Será que dá para perguntar ao Raven que componentes devemos adicionar para uma determinada necessidade? Sim, exatamente. Tu pode perguntar para ele. Ele tem ali a aba ESC, tem embaixo ali Edit, tem a aba ESC. Tu pode perguntar para ele, pode pedir as tuas coisas e tal, assim, tu pode, de novo, gente, vocês podem ter uma conversa com ele e ele vai conseguir te explicar e atender a tua necessidade, certo? Gente, então, cara, muito obrigado, tá, todo mundo por ter vindo aqui, por ter, né, assistido, feito suas perguntas. Cara, o Moritz é um cara muito legal, ele desenvolveu uma ferramenta, tipo, incrível, assim, que eu acho que, porra, vai ajudar muita gente que quer, né, aprender Grasshopper, etc. E, como eu falei, é o novo momento aí que a gente vê da tecnologia, do uso de inteligência artificial e tal, e como ela realmente pode ser benéfica aí para nós, arquitetos e designers, beleza? Então, galera, sempre lembrando, tá? Se inscreva no canal, deixa o like aqui para nos ajudar a crescer no YouTube. Se tu tá assistindo essa live gravada, tu pode botar comentário que eu respondo depois, ela aparece normalmente, não precisa ser só no live. E também nos segue no Instagram, @parametrizado, que é lá onde eu dou os recados. Inclusive, olha, tem que falar sobre isso. Ontem eu botei um story dizendo que a live era hoje, então eu botei amanhã. Hoje eu acordei não, desculpa, 2 horas da tarde, fui olhar o meu Instagram e tava lá, tipo, carregado há 10 minutos atrás. Aí tava, tipo, amanhã. Não, a live é hoje, sabe? Aí depois eu vi e eu corrigi o erro. Enfim, muito estranho, mas que bom que não ficou confuso pra ninguém. Gente, é isso. Uma boa noite pra todo mundo. E a gente se vê na próxima semana. Eu não fiz live nas outras semanas porque eu tava cheio de trabalho, mas agora eu tô numa boa, então live na próxima semana. Vamos que vai. Fechou? Valeu. Uma boa noite a todos.